Hello, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. Welcome to another news day on Tuesday. Today is December 22nd, 2020. We've got our Christmas banner. Let's jump right in. All right, so we've got Eldryn, the what we're assuming is Fryevia's teacher in the elvish land of ice. What new global original unit, new global original story. I'm excited. I always love global original content, and I'm really excited by this actually. Um, I don't know much about him, but I'm probably gonna go for him just because I like global exclusive stuff. Um, okay, so we've got Eldryn. We've got all the previous Christmas units, including the Santa Rosalia and Tinkerer Carry. So we've got everybody coming back. It's just, Kryla, Christine, Levinson, Lucas, Tiana, Felix, White Knight, Noel. So they're all going to be on banner, just similar to the Christmas banner. We've got Neo Vision Awakens for Kryla. Oh my god. And Christine, what a little cutie. Okay. So we've got that huge banner where they're all on it. Holy crap. Alright, so we've got Eldryn. Eldryn in his base form. He is a hybrid attacker. Awesome. In his brave shift form, he is a ice absorbing, so he heals off of any ice moves dealt to him. What? Hybrid attacker, and he's got a puppers with him. Look at this big old wolf pupper. It's kind of like, Fenrir, like base level. I'm excited. His brave shift is infinite duration too. So if you shift him into that like ice immune form, he stays in that form forever, unless you shift him back. It does have a 2-turn cooldown though. Okay. So his super trust mastery is incredible. It is a sword with 175 attack and 150 magic, with HP draining whenever you deal hybrid damage. So if you equip this to a hybrid unit, every time they're dealing hybrid damage, they're going to be vampiric touching away HP from the enemy. And it also has a passive boost attack and magic by 30%. I'm excited to see how this works. And then we have his Trust Mastery, Admiral's Medal, attack magic 50, and boost equipment attack when armed with 2 one-handed weapons. So, it'll be alright. It's a nice Trust Mastery. Then we have his Vision card. His Vision card boosts attack and magic by the percentages you see, and then defense and spirit by the percentages there. His standard abilities, he's an absolute mirror of Equity Chainer. He damages all enemies, then damages them again, so it's, a self-capping chain most likely. And then he has, damage all enemies or damage all enemies, and, okay. Interesting. So it either damages all enemies or it damages all enemies and chance of AoE physical covering. So in his base form, he's a physical cover tank, absolute mirror of Equity Chainer. Interesting. And then his passive is boost MP, defense, spirit, attack, and magic when equipped with a sword. Boost equipment attack and magic when armed with 2 one-handed weapons, so he wants to be dual wield. And he can escape death when HP is above a certain point. Nice. Precursor of the Blizzard. We finally have the precursor of the ice. I'm excited. We still have a few precursors left to get, but we've got the Blizzard one now. Snow. We always thought it was going to land on Christmas, and here it is, 3 years later. Alright. Boost attack and magic for caster. Deal ice damage to all enemies 2 times. Snowy Blitz. Okay. And then his Magnus ability is boost attack, defense, magic, and spirit, and deal ice damage to all enemies. I'm excited to see how much that boosts by. Always new things for Zon to steal, right? Okay. Then we move on to Christine. I mean, I gotta look over this guy real quick again. He's got a cool sprite. He's as good as Fryevia was on her original launch. I'm imagining him to be this time. although we won't know until we see his stats since he's a completely new unit. So we won't know until Thursday, but he's looking pretty good for a hybrid unit. And then we have Christine. Christine with her little snow bear, and then her brave shift form. The snow bear is floating, and she's riding on the snow bear. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I enjoy that. She stays as a magical DPS, and she brave shifts into a magical DPS LB finisher, apparently. Infinite brave shift duration, 10 turn cooldown though. So if you decide to shift her, you better have made that decision, because it's 10 turns before you can shift her back. We've had her for a while, so we know her Super Trust Mastery and her Trust Mastery. Her STMR, Winter Child, worth getting usually. Alright. Her normal abilities are boost magic for caster and deal ice damage to all enemies. An absolute zero chain. Crazy. Absolute zero chaining. Crazy. I'm wondering if they're going to try to bring back absolute zero. And then Permafrost, chance of instantly KOing or dealing ice magic damage and inflicting all status ailments on all enemies. So that to me is like that's an arena thing right there. And then her Brave Shift abilities passively boost stats, boost LB damage, and enable Snow Squall, which is a quad cast. So in her Brave Shift form, she has quad cast and LB damage boost. Okay? And then her Magnus ability, Winter's Wrath, boost magic damage against beasts. I'm excited to see how much that's by. And gradually restore MP for caster and deal ice magic damage to all enemies. But apparently she is an LB finisher. So if you're looking for ice magic damage, I suppose, against a beast enemy, then she is a beast for that. So specific fight she'll be great for. Or stealing Beast Killer off of her, I suppose. Can we get a 200% buff? Oh my god, that would be sick. Alright, Kryla. Kryla, who her leggings change from red to green. Like, her whole thing changes from red to green. It's actually really cool. The pot goes from, like, having the star on it to this, like, wicked face. If you guys remember, Kryla's a villain. So, Kryla's the Winter Witch. But she goes from being a debuffer in her base form into her Brave Shift form, where she's a buffer and debuffer. So she's more of a support unit and less of a breaker. Alright. Her Brave Shift duration only lasts 4 turns, but it is available turn 1. Her Super Trust Mastery still is one of my favorite Super Trust Masteries in the game. To boost all elemental resistances by 20% in the hat slot. I love that thing. It's still the best elemental resist headgear. Anyway, and then featured standard abilities: reduce attack, defense, magic, spirit, fire, ice, water, blah 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 blah, and inflict hex. So for each one of these reductions, the enemy is going to take damage at the end of every turn. For all of this, so it'll take a percentage for the attack reduction, a percentage for the defense reduction. So it takes similar to like having a poison effect on them. Hex triggers, and for every stat that they have that's afflicted to them. So the imperils, the breaks. So this may not be a huge imperil or whatever since it's doing so much, or a huge break since it's applied with the hex, but it is applied with the hex, so it applies all of that. And it gradually restores MP for all allies. Nice. And any additional status ailments you can get on the boss, also the hex damage applies to. So if they come from other sources. Jinx, Weakening Concoction. Deal light and dark magic damage 2 times, and probably a larger break. I'm going to guess this might be an 84% break. Maybe, because she's been like a standard breaker for a while. So they might bring her all the way up to 84%. Perhaps even 85. Then in her Brave Shift, where she becomes more of a buffer, boost attack and magic, reduce defense and spirit for one ally. So this boosts their attack and magic heavily, but it does bring them down for defense and spirit. But if this attack and magic boost is like 300%, then whatever. I'll take a defense and spirit debuff. Boost spirit for caster, and reduce light and dark resistance for all enemies. So that could be a significant imperil as well. Alright, her Magnus ability is boost attack, defense, magic, and spirit for all allies, and reduce or imperil for all ailments or all elements to all enemies and all allies. But it could be a huge imperil. So you could dispel your team, right, from the imperils or whatever. I think this is great. I honestly think this is fantastic. I mean, you can get rid of the breaks on your own team. That's easy to get rid of, and you could redistribute the like you could play with this so easily. All right, so what we're looking at is Kryla is gonna I think is going to be sort of a new meta support unit. Perhaps we have to see once these units are released. Christine is going to be back into the game with her LB damage as a finisher and absolute zero chaining. I don't know who she's going to chain with. And then this guy, bring out your Neo Vision Stars, bring out your any absolute mirror of equity chainers you've got. He's a nice DPS, honestly, and I think he's going to be a great addition to the game. Although I thought on the event they said that he was permanent pool, but apparently it's all time limited. So, like Carton was for the Precursor of the Dark, the Precursor of the Ice will be time limited. All right. So we have an Icy Reception, which is the event which it comes out with, which this his boss comes out. So similar to like the Chamber of Vengeance and such as those trials. Here we have the Northern Beast, which is his enemy. So we've got all these like katanas stuck in it. It's just this ice monster with like a million katanas stuck in it. Kind of reminds me of like a Kingdom Hearts design, honestly. I want to know more about this locket that it has in its one hand. But it is a beast enemy. Kind of looks human, sort of, but it's not, I mean, it's not. But and then you can farm out and craft these weapons, right? You collect, I think they're called like elven pendants or something like that, but they're just broken Christmas ornaments. Okay, so you eventually craft Elven Pendant Plus Plus, which is accessory with Magic 30 and Defense 25, Ice Resistance by 15%, and boosts Spirit by 20% when equipped with Elven Ring. Elven Ring has Attack 30, Defense 25, boosts Ice Resistance by 15%, and boosts HP by 20% when equipped with Elven Pendant. Then we have Snowgriever Plus Plus, which is a sword with Ice Elemental Attack, and it is 120 attack and magic. So, really nice. Really nice. If you're just starting, these are pretty nice to farm up and, be able to equip to your units. He's got 100% bonus. Elena and Yoshikiri are the 80% bonus for this event. Itachi, Elena, and Morgana are the 40%. And then their lower forms are 20%. Interesting that those units, no Fryevias, no Aurora Fryevias, that's strange. All right, and then you can get this 5-star exchange ticket. You can exchange it for, in this event, you can exchange it for a Preach, a Sephiroth, Pure Summon Iridia, Mercenary Ramza, Ace, Queen, Rem, Bosch, Aranea, Toning Dragon Kane, Zargabath, and then you can exchange it for fragments for any one of these Neo Vision possible units that you want, or Gil Snappers if you just got too much and you just want more Gil. I know which one I'm going to go for. All right. Yeah, what is this? It doesn't say here. Worn Elven Trinkets. That's what they're called. Um, so the vanquishing the beasts, challenge the almighty northern beast, and then transcendent heroes to get these global insignias. Looks like there's no boss apparently. We're just fighting a beam of light, I guess. All right, then Vision Card's new arrival. Vision Card's new arrival. We've got his card. His card boosts attack, magic, defense, and spirit passively all the way up to 100 or level 10. Then at level 4 boosts physical and magical damage against beasts, boosts ice resistance by 30%, and then an additional 45% when equipped with a sword. Is that additional, or is that 45% if equipped with a sword and 30% base? I think that's additional. And boost. It doesn't say or, it says and. So if you're equipped with a sword, then that's 75% ice resistance buff, which is pretty nice off of a vision card. And then escape death one time when HP is above a certain point, requirement male unit. But he's teaching Fry. I don't... Why do they have to keep putting these limitations on here? Just make it like FFBE unit or something. Like, anyway. Okay. So I like the vision card a lot. It's got Beast Killer on it for physical and magical. It's got 75% possible ice resistance, and it's got Guts on it. With 75 attack and magic, and 35 defense and spirit. I think it's a great vision card. And then we can get Beach Beauties again. We can buy Beach Beauties again. It'll be available for purchase. Alright. We got Dark Visions coming back at you. Alright, Dark Visions is changing this time just a little bit around because we've got 2 new weapons we can craft. We can get Dark Kaiser Knuckles, which is the level 10 version of the Dark Visions gloves. So it's equip fists. You got the fists, attack 231, and enables Dark Punch, which is that dark finisher move. Damage all enemies, and then Dark Sun Rising, which is the throwing weapon, and it's attack 220 and enable Dark Throw, which is that dark finishing move. So we have 2 new Dark Visions weapons to craft. I'm excited. Get hype. Okay. And that's really how Dark Visions changes this time. We have new enemies that scale to the power level a little bit more, but we've got 2 new weapons. Let's see here. Story continues. So, for all of those of you keeping up with story, I personally need to catch up. So more Lapis, more story. Little issue report here. Little issue report with Terra doing 1 damage. Like, if you basically cap her out on damage and do too much, it was registering as 1 damage. But they're going to fix that. Holiday special bundle. We've got some bundles coming at you. I won't go over the bundles too much because we don't know how much they're going to cost. So, it's kind of... Challenges of the Brave are back. It looks like they're just running every challenge of the Brave so far. It's like, Merry Christmas. Do you have a unit? We're running every challenge of the Brave event. So you can level up your units, except for the time-limited ones. Holiday exchange, glistening snowflakes. We've got these glistening snowflakes, right? So we can exchange these glistening snowflakes that we've been getting in login rewards, and we'll get as login rewards for next week as well. For it doesn't say what's the exchange rate is, but we can get Christine, Kryla, Levinson, Lucas, Tiana, Felix, White Knight, Noel, and then the prisms respectively for them, or just Lapis if you don't want any Christmas units for whatever insane reason you might have for that. We have the exchange shop, so you can get Eldryn. You can get 2 Eldryns. What? And I'm sorry, what? And then you could trade in for, so it's not only where you can get, like, the guaranteed Eldryn, but you can get 2 of them. And then, you can get all the Christmas units, prisms respectively, etc., from the exchange shop. We've got a change to the EX points, so whenever you purchase Lapis in-game, they're changing what gets rewarded at each tier just a little bit. So if this is something that affects you, I would highly suggest looking over it. You do get 100% trust Moogle now at this stage, which is kind of interesting. Okay. Man, there was a lot of news to say. We get the amazing enhancements and half Gil awakening, so, double experience when fusing Cactuars, and it only costs half as much Gil to awaken. And then we've got the Festive Friend Point Summon. So players can perform a Friend Point Summon with 1,000 Friend Points to obtain amazing rewards such as EX tickets, 3, 4, 5, super sites, and more. Looks like we can also get Gill Snappers and Pots. So if you have all your friend points, saved up for a little while, spend them, get some stuff, get some loots. And that looks like we're caught up. Okay, so what do we got this time? We've got a new unit, 2 Neo Vision Awakenings. We've got a new event to farm out. We've got a new vision card. We've got Dark Visions with 2 new weapons. We've got the story continuing. We've got all the challenges of the Braves coming at you. We've got some exchanges where we can get some of the Christmas units for free. You can trade in for the safety net this time is now 2 Eldryns. The exchange points are changing up a little bit. Amazing enhancements and half Gil are coming at you, and we've also got the friend point summon. So I think Christmas is looking pretty good. I like how it's looking this year. I'm also going to be a little excited for New Year's because they always drop us, some free stuff. They're like, congratulations, here's 1/10 of a 5-star unit for, they always do something a little nice for us for bringing in the new year. But I'm excited for Eldryn. I think he's going to be great. Personally, I'm going to try to pull for him. We'll see if we get lucky. Thanks everybody for hanging out, and I will see you next time. Peace.